Yeah. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Hi there, La Katrina. Hey, Monica. Yeah. It's kind of fun, hopping from one to the other. Yeah. I hope I do this girl some justice today. Um, let's see. Let's see. Okay, one thing that I've learned, um, and we'll obviously get into this, is putting a base color. So basically, the base color would be the color of your character. Hey there, how you doing? Yes, hello. I'm on the phone with my daughter, but I'm here. Okay, yeah, fine, not a problem. Um, Let me go ahead and do a background on her. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. Yeah, because over this I can do that blue that kind of, there's a slight blue hue that comes off of her. And like I said, I'm kind of wanting to experiment with this one. Now, I can't say I'll remember all the tips that I've learned, but I thought I'd play around. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah. And let's see. I'm going to try to find a beautiful green background. Let's see. Ooh, yes. Okay. I found one, guys. I found one. Hey there, Princessa. Hey, Marie. Hey, Monica. Okay, what I'm going to do is use this beautiful green as a background. That'll go good with this light green. That'll look really pretty with this cat eye. And it's from La Katrina. And it was from her limited edition. Um, uh, let's see. It was, yeah, it's Ojo de Mictlin is the collection name. Let's see. I think that means Eye of the Underworld. So if you notice, it's blue and green. It's kind of got a beautiful color, but it'd be great to put over this green just to play with it. Oh yeah, that's pretty, and it's got the shimmer too. Sorry, I'm really congested today. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, Fatima. When I'm other and gone, go to. I love you. Does never make I have you videos. Fatima, I can't understand what you're saying. I'm sorry, sweetie, but I can't understand a word you said. I mean, I understand the words, but not the context. I'm sorry. Uh, Let me see. Let me. I'm just moving the particles around some more. I love this blue and green. That's really going to set off our Tinkerbell. There we go. Let me try a bigger magnet here. I got a bigger magnet. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want, like that. Okay. It will look amazing. Yes. That's what we're looking for. Yeah. Yeah. And this is, like I said, from her Ojo de Michelin collection. And it's called Serpiente Emplumada Quetzalcoatl. So it's the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl. Okay. Yeah. It will look amazing. Oh yeah, no, you're fine, Angie. You're fine. You are fine, sweetheart. And like I said, now I'm going to make the colors. I think with the base colors, I am going to do... Okay. Let's see. I'm going to use these outliner gels, the primary colors. Blue and yellow make green. Let's see what we can come up with. Of course, the more blue you put in there, the darker the green, the more red. You get more violet in it. So we're going to kind of play with this a little bit. Just try to get... So I'm just... Like I said, you don't need much. Like I said, it's what you would call like a 3D sculpting gel. There we go. Like I said, you don't need much. And then I need to get more of the alcohol here in my dampen dish. There we go. Clean it off. I had to make a phone call, but I'm back. Okay, no, you're fine, Marie. You are fine, sweetheart. Yeah, you don't ever have to apologize, sweetheart. It's called life. Sometimes we just get busy and those kind of things come first. I understand, honey. Okay, so then we got red. Ooh, that'd be... But, so we're going to make this green. Let's see. I'm going to stir it up because sometimes they can separate. There we go. Don't worry, I'm like a big kid when it comes to this kind of stuff. I love playing with colors, and I've always been that way as a kid. I think you remember because we're the same age, Marie. We were born in the 70s. You were taught how to make your own colors, and we didn't have all these things that you got now as a luxury. So, but just to let you know, if you guys do get these primaries, for those that aren't familiar with how to color match and make your own colors, it does come with a color card. So just to let you guys know, if you guys have a hard time with figuring that out. Now, I don't have one because I told her not to send me one. I should have told her to send me one, so that way you guys could have an example. But okay, let's see. I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit with some white. Do they ship in Norway at all, you think? You know what? Let me ask. I'll get back to you later today. I'll have to ask Amanda. Because she's in Canada. So, I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, I'll privately message you back later, and I'll ask her. Okay, yeah, I kind of like that color, guys. I like that color a lot. Okay. And remember when you're using these outliner gels, it's a very thick viscosity, so you don't need much because you will get wrinkling if you use too much. And I usually recommend when you're applying something like this, like a 5 or you know, like a 5 millimeter or whatever you have that has a nice blunt brush like tip. Like this has a blunt tip because I cut it because the tip was just terrible, so I cut it to my own liking. So yeah, okay, here we go. And let me add some top coat to this because I'm gonna make this a jelly a little bit so that way I can do the outline. This is gonna be my outlining color. So it'll make it thinner, easier to use. There we go. Yeah, there. Okay. So with her, let me look at, yeah, because her hair's in a bun. Yeah, so we can actually go quite high with her head. Okay, here we go. We're just making the circle. Would love that because I would love to try some of this out. I have girls like that, but I tried to order true primaries just like makes my own, but my brand does not have that. Probably on oh man, that sucks. Yeah, because that does make it a lot easier if you can mix your own. Okay, so there we go. We got a nice rough outline of her head. And then, let's see. And then we want, okay, we want, because her jaw will start extending down here. So then her ears will be right about where the jawline starts, is where the bottom of the ear is. So right now I'm just doing placement. Because like I said, I'm kind of new with these Disney characters, so I'm trying to do my best. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just, like I said, doing an outline. A rough sketch. And let's see here. Okay, and then there's her jaw. And then it comes in. And then her chin is very small. So we're marking where the chin will be. Hey, Becky, I have to go and pick up Rumi. But it was nice. Oh, it was great seeing you too. Okay, love you too, honey. Have to get to the most money out of us, you know. Oh, yeah, I know. Well, you have a good one, Marie. Thank you so much for following. And be careful driving. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay, so there we go. And then we have, yeah, I agree with you, Princessa. Yeah, anything to really get money out of us. I know. Yes. Are you a brand ambassador too? I just was curious if you were a brand ambassador too. So I am just going to follow along the lines that I made here. No, I'm not. Okay. Well, I just didn't know. I didn't know if you were, if you had, um, if you had been or not. Okay, and with liner gel, it's kind of same thing. So you don't get lines. Is just float the product is what you're doing. So that way you don't get the pencil lines or the brush lines. Is you just want to just float it. Just float it. Yep, just float that product. I love your Labubu, by the way. You were doing so good on that until I had to get off because I had to figure out this Instagram mess, and then I had my doctor's appointment. Did you end up finishing that Labubu up? This is a simple newbie. Yeah, I know. Me too. Me too. Okay. So, yeah. And then I'm going to kind of round this out too. But if you notice, I'm just floating the product. I'm pushing it with light pushes. And that's kind of how you want to treat this kind of product. Oops. Went a little over. Okay. There we go. And I'm just kind of straightening out her chin a little bit at the bottom. She's got, it's not sharp, it's a nice small square. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna hurry up and lock that in. No, not yet. I really want to finish it though, but I will wait till tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I know. I try to. I got 2 stands, and I thought, I'll make. What I'm gonna do is keep one for content, so that way I can put out a video every day. And then I'm gonna have one for my online. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just gonna let that cure, because it does say on the packaging 30 to 60 seconds, but according to your lamp. So I just keep it at the 60 to be on the safe side. I like to err on the side of caution. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so we got that done. Now we're going to go ahead. Oops, just wait. There we go. And then I had to make the picture smaller so that way I could see. Okay, so not. Okay. Have to round that chin out a little bit. I noticed when I pulled it back. This is too harsh on this side. This is more square. It's too hard of a jaw. Yeah, I like that. That's so much better. Okay, and then her neck is going to be right about here, and then on the other side of her chin. Okay, let me get all this product. I have too much product on. And I'm just cleaning up here the line. Okay. And I'm going to map that out. Let's see. So her muscles, okay, she's got her muscle, and this is why I think of it as anatomy, because my nursing background that I took from school is, so you got like the corduroy arteries here. Okay, and then you've got, so we want to make sure her shoulders are balanced and even. I'm just measuring the placement. Okay. And then come down here, and she's got her dress. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because she's at a slight tilt, so that lines up. Okay. And that, you'll learn it, how to line things up. I'm still learning myself of just how to place everything. Okay, let me see here. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to use my filler brush. I like this brush that I cut the tips off because the tips was terrible. So I'm using it as my filler brush. And it's a great filler brush. Okay. And like I said, all you want to do is just float that product down. Kind of helps you not have the streaks. There we go. So we'll go ahead and lock that in. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, thank you so much. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I'm just, I said today, yeah, today's kind of one of those days. It's like everything's been so, it seems like today's been going by fast. Thank you so much for just being here. I appreciate it, guys. It means a lot to me. And then right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix. Let's see. I got this forest green. I want to do some like bluish purple. I know there's some like a bluish purple. So I want to add more blue. So this is what we've got so far. And I'm just right now getting ready. Um, Getting my shading and okay. My shading and highlight gels ready. I got this nice purple jelly. That'll mix in nice. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. That's perfect for under her eyes. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. And then we'll throw on some more of this. And okay, and then we're gonna mix this this hunter green, and then this light mint green that we have, or like some people call it a seafoam green. But yeah, we're just gonna mix these so that way we have different shades to work with. That'd be a good idea because it's good to have those already on your palette. Okay. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Okay, let's go ahead and outline her. I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get some top coat here. I'm gonna make a jelly. I'm gonna make a jelly. And then that way we can do all the, what you call it, the mark out her features, like the nose, the eyes, and the mouth. Yep. Okay, we're good. Okay. Okay, so from the top of the eye, let me zoom her in here. Okay, so we have her nose right where the bottom of her ear is. I didn't like that. Let me take that off. There we go. Okay. And then we have her mouth. I'm going to use my 15 millimeter for the mouth because that's the only one with a good tip. Like I said, it's good to have good brushes. Yeah, her nose isn't that wide. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead to her eyes. Sorry. Okay, so it starts from the end of the nostril on up, and then it hits about the height of her ear, the tip of her ear. Okay. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Now, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask too. Whoops. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we got our eyes placed. That means we can finally go on and move to the mouth. Okay. Okay. There we go. So our Cupid's only going to be as big as wide as the bottom of her nostrils. Gosh, I wish like I said, it's really sucking that okay. And then her lips, and right where, so they're very small. Okay. Perfect. Good. And let's see, let's outline her eyeballs here. Actually, before I get started doing that, let me lock this in here for 15 seconds. Does anybody have any questions for me? Or, anything at all? Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. And then I'm just going to mark out her chin here. There we go. I want to get everything kind of marked. Let's see. Get her eyeballs placed. So the circle, the full circle is going to meet the bottom part of her eye. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and do the eyebrows. Of course, I want to, well, before I do that, let me do the eyelids. Oops. Okay. I'm going to lock that into the eyes. Yeah, I should have done that before I started attempting the eyebrows and the eyelids. But all this does is help you with placement, helps you where you're going to put your shadows at, is what this does. Okay. We'll go ahead and do her eyebrows, which meets the outside of her nostril here. So we're going to go ahead and place it right here, just a tiny dot, and it's rounded. And so we can't see how it's rounded out, but we can mimic the other side. So and let's see, and it goes off towards the top of her ears. So let's see. It's about double side up and then towards the top of her ear. So this is how it's going to be. All right, so we got that mapped out. Because if you can't see the other eyebrow, try to start with the other eyebrow, the one that you can see well. If you can see one. Okay. And that will be mirrored. So, and then it'll end back down here. There we go. Yeah. And then we can go ahead and do the outside of her nose here. There we go. I like that a lot better, yes. Okay. There we go. So we got a good outline of her. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lock that in. All right. So what do you guys think? You guys got any questions for me at all? Yeah. I know. What you guys doing after this today? Anything? I know we're gonna have a little pizza party. Me and my daughter. We're gonna have a small little pizza party and a movie night tonight. So that'll be fun. I'm excited for that because we don't get to do that too often. You know, with her schedule being busy, and so yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so we locked that in place, and then let me go ahead now. She has, I want to say, I don't want to say white hair, but it is white in the picture. So that's what we're going to go with. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and detail that too as well. So right above, so it's going to be kind of an angle from the bottom of her eye. So I want to say probably right about here is where her hair will wisp. And it'll be halfway. Okay, so we know we'll connect the dots here. Okay, and then she's got another strand of hair that starts here. And the wisp comes over here. So all we are is just mapping. Just mapping out the placements. And then the ear, let's see, it starts here. Set the chin. And it starts here. So what we're going to do is curve that around. There we go. So I did size up the head just right, actually. There's one. And then her bun starts from behind her ear here. Oh, come on. Okay, so so we just want to round this out to meet to the back of the ear. So if you guys can see that. So we're just rounding that out to the back side. That's where the bun, you know, that where the back of her hair kind of starts her bun. And then hers starts right there. Let me clean that up. So that, like I said, just outlining, making placements. And then her bun will start diagonal from here. And that's where the bun will start. And then we'll mark where, okay, so the bun ends where her eye ends. So we'll just go straight up and we'll make a mark there. And so what we'll do is bloom out, because that's the way the buns look. Yep, and we'll do the same over here. It just blooms out a little bit, like a nice soft C curve. And that's her bun placement. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and lock that in. Okay. Yep. And then let's see. Yeah, we'll at least get her eyeballs in, get that placed. I usually like to start with the eyeballs. Okay, here we go. Okay, fill that in. Okay, and we'll do the same to the other side. Here we go. Let me clean that up. That doesn't. Okay, I like that a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, put that in there for 15 seconds, lock that down. Then we're going to go ahead and start with our lips. While that's secure. And I'm going to get a nice pretty pink here, a plain old pastel light pink. That'll be perfect. Okay. And then here we go. So we're just getting the basic colors down. Okay. Come on. All right. All right. So we'll go ahead and lock that in. You guys got any questions for me or anything? Just curious. But yeah, what we're going to do is, like I said, put all the basic colors down. I'm going to use this basic blue, this light blue that we use in Cinderella, the zombie version. Hey, girl. Okay. Let me make sure my brush is dry. Okay. And so we know her eyeball comes to about here. And it's rounded at the bottom. So remember that her eyeball... I love you too, honey. What you gonna do? Oh, okay. It's rounded here at the bottom. Oops. Sorry, my brain is no longer available. I know the feeling. Yeah, it's almost over. We're almost there. I know I'm getting there too. And actually, I put it too far over, so I'm gonna just take a little nip. There we go. Looks a lot better. Okay, and then same on the other side. It rounds out at the bottom. I'm just watching it existing. Yeah, I know that feeling. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then now I do see. Come on, where are you? I see a little bit of the darker blue on the outside, so I'm just going to put a little dab of this dark blue while it's still wet. So this is what they call wet on wet technique, and you'll see this a lot in regular painting, like with acrylic painting or even oil painting. Obviously, because Bob Ross, he created the wet on wet technique with oils. But this is a very similar technique. All right, here we go. Sorry guys, I'm not paying attention to the chat just yet. Ooh, cool, yes. So it's very similar to, well, like I said, Bob Ross, his technique. It's a very cool way of blending colors and mixing colors to where you get that nice ombre effect, so to speak, where it kind of blends things together. Yep. And let's see. Where's my black? Okay, so I'm going to just do the iris, the pupil now. And then we'll be done. Yep. We'll be done for the day. And then we'll get started on this new technique I want to try. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited since I got all the bases covered. So now it's going to start getting into the details of everything. Like the layered shading. Oh my gosh, it's going to be tedious, but I'm all for it because I want to try this. It's a type of portrait technique of art. So I just saw it and I saw it twice yesterday and I'm like, oh. Oops. Come on, Becca. You can do this. You can do this. So there we go. And then we'll get into, actually, let me put the glow in the dark on top before I end this. Because otherwise I'm going to forget. And that is going to be what sets this off. The glow in the dark. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this glow in the dark blue. And just don't need much, obviously. Okay. Let's see. All right. So I'm done with that. Okay, so we're going to use this glow in the dark blue. What I like about it is that's a jelly too. So that even makes it even more cool because it okay. And then I think yeah, we'll be done there. I mean, other than, I like to put some highlights in there. Yes, what do you think so far, Princessa? Are you still existing? I'm so sorry. I know you probably want to rest. Yes. But I promise we're there. Let me go ahead and clean off my palette here. Yes, I love it so far. Oh, thank you so much, Princessa. Okay, here we go. And this is the last bit right here. I just want to put these highlights. She's got one. Oops. Wow. I should have tested it on my palette first. Yeah, that's what I get for not testing. There we go. She's got one on each side. There we go. Okay. Let's lock that in. All right. Well, we are all done for today, Princessa. Thank you for staying around. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for those that have stuck around. I appreciate it. Oh no. Yeah. It's time. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. Don't hate me. But I'm so glad that we got as far as we did. I wasn't quite sure how much we get done of her today. But like I said, this is kind of the beginning because from what I've seen yesterday, there's going to be a lot of shading. Hope you come to see the Yes, yes, I will be there. Yes, most definitely. I want to see that little boo boo. I love the color purple, by the way, that you picked for him. Yes, most definitely. Yep, and there she is so far. And let me try to see if her eyes glow. Oh, yeah. I like that. Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. Yeah, that nice blue glow. Okay, well, hey, I can handle that. I know that blue, but then there's white too. So I'm thinking about going in. I don't know about going in with like see if I can't find a whitish glow. I don't know. Or should I just leave her the way she is? Because I'm afraid if I do too much. Let me do a cat eye. Gosh, I can't stop right now. Yeah, yeah. Let me do this cat eye real quick, and then we'll be done. Cause I want to do a cat eye too. Leave her alone. Well, I got this pretty cat eye. If I do it transparent, it won't lose. Let's see. It's such a pretty blue. See, it's a cat eye. Try it. Yeah, I figured we'll try it. And because she's got that electric look running through her. Ooh, I do like it. But see, it's still transparent enough to let it still glow. So that way it gives it almost that 3D feel. Wow, I really like that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That set it off. If it sucks, you can wipe it off. Yeah. So see, um, yeah, right there. What do you think? Yes. Yeah, I think that's what it needed. It was missing that 3D effect. That's what it was missing. Cuz her eyes, if you look, like her eyes right here, she's got like a that ghostly electrical, it looks like one of those electric bulbs that you put your hands on and your hair stands up on that's what it kind of reminds me of. Her eyes. So yeah, that's the only way I could think about giving that 3D effect. Yeah, okay, now we're done. Now we're done. I promise. Okay. I love it too, sweetie. Well, you guys, you all have a great day. Thank you for coming and just joining me and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, Princessa. Probably the same time, 9 o'clock. My time, 3 o'clock your time? Or do you start at 2 o'clock your time? Probably a little later. Okay. All right. Well, I'll be looking out for you. Yes, I love you. See you later. Maybe 2 my time. Okay, because I know you're 6 hours ahead, so that'd be 8 my time. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll be there in the morning. Sounds good. I'll see you then, girl. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Bye bye.